G'day and welcome to ReDriven. Now, last week we published our top 5 7-seaters video. The link is just up there and down there somewhere. And many of you are a bit upset that it only included one SUV, the Mazda CX-9. See, we argue that a people mover, funnily enough, is better at moving people and all of their stuff over a 7-seat SUV. However, we do also understand that a 7-seat SUV is more popular because it does a better job than a people mover at hiding the fact that you may have given up on your hopes and dreams to become purely a taxi service for your kids and their friends. Plus, not everybody needs all 7 seats in use all of the time. And if that's the case, finding an SUV that has the option of becoming a 7-seater when it's needed just makes sense. So what are the best? Well, here are our picks. I also should mention that we're not going to mention the Mazda CX-9 in this list because we mentioned it last week. Anyway, look, we kick off with my personal favourite. It's the Volvo XC90. Okay, let's get the negatives out of the road first. You may want to avoid the 2003 to 2006 first generation XC90s. Yes, there are owners out there of these that have never had an issue, and with fastidious servicing, they can be quite reliable. However, if they're not cared for, things can turn bad, and that can get expensive. These first-gen XC90s did improve as production went on. However, even with a seemingly faultless example, it is critical to have a thorough pre-purchase inspection carried out before you buy one. If you can stretch the budget, we'd be steering you towards the stunning second generation from 2015. The first generation XC90 was on sale for over 10 years, yet even now is still a very safe and practical 7-seater. However, these second generation XC90s are just as capable, even safer, and a hell of a lot classier. In fact, the interior quality rivals premium German brands, and on the used market, these are arguably one of the best luxury 7-seaters on sale today. Plus, if you go for the plug-in hybrid T8 model, you can cruise around on electric power and still have space for 7. Pricing wise, here in Australia, the first gen XC90s kick off from as little as $4,000. However, at that price, it's a bloody risk. And these top out at around about $35,000. But look, just stick with the lowest amount of kilometres travelled in the best possible condition with a full service history that your budget allows if you just must have an XC90. Second gen models are asking anywhere from $40,000 up to $135,000. So there should be a second gen XC90 to suit all tastes and budgets, as long as that budget starts at over $40,000. Also, look, it should be noted that various reports and surveys do show that higher kilometre and earlier second gen XC90s, look, they're not without their faults, and they are very complex vehicles in terms of technology. So again, a faultless service history is an absolute must. But with all of the boxes ticked, these are our pick for the luxury end of the spectrum. Actually, if anybody out there has one of these second generation XC90s with a few kilometres on it, and you live in Sydney or Newcastle or somewhere close, and you'd be happy for us to feature it on ReDriven, can you let us know in the comments or message us on Instagram? Because yeah, we're hunting one at the moment. Now, swapping luxury out for some off-roading prowess, it's the Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Or, depending on where you're watching this from, it might be called the Challenger, the Montero Sport, or the Shogun Sport. And we're specifically talking about the post-2015 third generation. And like the Volvo, if you happen to own one of these and you're happy for us to review it, can you let us know in the comments? Because we need one. Based on the Mitsubishi Triton platform, don't be fooled into thinking that this thing is just a Triton wagon, as it offers so much more than that. Not only has the rear suspension been completely re-engineered, replacing the Triton's leaf springs with a coil spring setup, providing a far more supple ride, the Pajero Sport will still tackle the wilderness, comfortably transport 7 people, tow boats or caravans or whatever you like, and still handle the everyday commute with absolute ease. Plus, it offers arguably class-leading levels of features and equipment for the asking price, if well maintained, is super reliable, and with Mitsubishi's excellent Super Select four-wheel drive system, is one of the few rugged and ute-based 7-seat SUVs that can be driven on sealed surfaces in 4-wheel drive mode, providing superior road holding and safety. Okay, the looks are on the, let's say, the polarizing side, but add a few quality accessories and the tough meter can be turned up in an instant. The engine, while a solid unit, is far from inspiring to actually drive, and there are quite a few abused and mistreated examples on the used market. However, with pricing currently kicking off from around about $30,000 and topping out at around about $70,000, the Pajero Sport offers so much SUV for the money. Now, if the Pajero Sport is a little bit too rugged for you, how about one of the world's highest selling 7-seat SUVs? We call it the Toyota Kluger. Everywhere else, it's called the Highlander. With first generation 2001 to 2007 Klugers kicking off from around about $5,000 here in Australia, if you're on a tight budget for a 7-seat SUV, these simply must be at the pointy end of your possibilities list. Yes, look, at that price, it's going to have over 200,000 kilometres on the clock, and it's going to be in interesting condition, and the money that you save on buying it might be eaten up in fuel costs. However, spend even $3,000 more and the quality will increase while the kilometres drop. Plus, even with big kilometres travelled, as long as it's got a solid service history, it should be ultra reliable. Stepping up to the second generation 2008 to 2013 models, pricing currently ranges from around about $10,000 to $35,000, and the improvements in refinement, tech and features, not to mention physical size, is instantly apparent. Plus, you'll have the choice of either front or four-wheel drive, and we know from experience that these make for one hell of a 7-seat SUV, thanks to our very own resident mechanic Jim using one for years to cart his kids and all of their stuff around. We've actually made a full review video of this model. The link is up here and down there somewhere. 2014 to 2019 third generation examples will set you back from around about $20,000, with mint condition, low kilometre versions asking up to $70,000. And now things are getting serious. Okay, yes, these are about as exciting as a fridge, and it does feel like Toyota really dropped the ball on equipping the Kluger or the Highlander with any street cred or sex appeal at all. However, for a reliable, practical, no-nonsense workhorse of an SUV that will just keep going, this is our pick of the Kluger generations. Finally, in Kluger/Highlander world, we come to the 2019 to current fourth generation, which, yes, like its predecessors, is an excellent thing and proving to be very popular. However, with pricing kicking off from around about $50,000 and topping out at over $100,000, there are other alternatives that we would recommend first, like our second place getter, the Kia Sorento. Now, the Kia Sorento has been around since 2002. However, here in Australia, 7-seat models first appeared from 2009 with the second generation. Featuring a handsome new design language, near class-leading levels of features and equipment, it was around this time that Kia were working hard at turning their previously not ideal image around. These days, well looked after and maintained Sorentos are showing very good reliability. However, make sure you do your homework and watch our Ultimate Used Car Buyer's Guide video, the link is just up here, before you buy one, as some of the V6 models have had a few gremlins and watching that video could save you thousands. The Sorentos that we'd be recommending, however, is either of the third generation 2015 to 2020 or fourth generation 2020 to, well, it's still a current model. Kia really stepped up the game with these generations and both make for exceptionally good 7-seat SUVs. Higher spec models, honestly, give far more expensive luxury brand SUVs a serious run for their money, and even the lower spec variants still offer an immense amount of equipment for the asking price. Plus, many will still be covered by Kia's excellent new car warranty for ultimate peace of mind. And even in driving terms, the ride, handling and steering feel are all tuned to our local conditions, so they're even lovely to drive. Pricing wise, third generation Sorentos are asking from $25,000 to around about $60,000, while the current generation models are asking from $45,000 to as much as a little over $95,000, which, look, yes, is a decent stack of cash, but again, it is a superb vehicle. We should also mention that everything that we have just said also goes for the Sorento's near identical twin, at least under the skin, the Hyundai Santa Fe. While in terms of fit and finish, the various Santa Fe generations have been arguably a little bit more luxurious inside than the Sorentos. However, its slightly shorter body and wheelbase means they're generally not quite as spacious inside. Hence, why when it comes to sheer practicality, the Kia only just tops the Hyundai by the smallest of margins. Now guys, before we get to our first pick, look, the only way that we can keep making these videos for you is with your support, and the easiest way to support us is simply by hitting the like, subscribe and bell buttons and sharing our content with your mates. Doing all of that, honestly, it helps us out so much. Okay, so the vehicle that takes this list out, it might be a little bit controversial because pricing kicks off from north of $50,000. But when it comes to SUVs that excel at lugging humans, it's a bit of a clear winner. It's the Hyundai Palisade. So how about we see the other 7-seaters listed here and raise the stakes to 8 seats? That's right, Hyundai's clearly American-inspired flagship SUV seats up to 8, and in higher spec trims can even offer a 7-seat interior with second-row captain's chairs. Plus you'll get a spacious and luxurious interior, a huge range of tech, features, equipment and safety goodies. The ride quality and driving experience, both from behind the wheel and as a passenger, is superb. The warranty is excellent, and modern Hyundais have a fabulous reputation reputation for reliability. Okay, look, the cargo space with all of the seats in operation can leave a little bit to be desired, and the sheer amount of warning beeps and bongs will make even the worst kid's tantrum sound pleasing. But besides that, for the brief that the Palisade is trying to fill, it executes it near perfectly. As mentioned, pricing here in Australia kicks off from around about $50,000 and currently tops out at a touch under $90,000, which, look, yes, is expensive, but my God, it offers so much SUV for the money. These things are brilliant. And on the used market, these are arguably one of the best, owner satisfaction surveys do show. Also, it should be noted that reliability reports and owner satisfaction surveys. What's going on with my brain? Mitsubishi Pajero. It's a bit of a clear winner. It's the Hyundai Palisade. I completely forgot what it was called. The Pajero Sport will still tackle the wilderness. The phone will go off and ruin the take. Yeah. It's 3 to 6 on a Friday night. Who's ringing a mechanics workshop at 3 to 6 on a Friday night expecting anyone to answer? So, which do you buy? Or do you buy a completely different 7-seat SUV? Let us know in the comments. See you next week. Bye.